Hello and welcome to your Wildcat News for Tuesday, November 4th. I'm Emily Hardiman-Urbar.
And I'm Colin Lewis. As you can see, it's election day, but not here in Kentucky.
That's right, Colin. Both federal and city elections during even years in Kentucky. The Commonwealth does not have an election in the year following a presidential election. The next time Kentucky will participate is in next year's midterms, when all 6 representatives will be up for election. Also, Senator Mitch McConnell is retiring and his seat will be filled with a new senator.
But there are a lot of elections going on throughout the rest of the country. Regular voting begins today in the New York City mayoral race. Early voting ended with record-breaking turnout. Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic primary winner, has been leading polls by double digits consistently, but the gap between him and runner-up Andrew Cuomo has closed in recent days. Last night, President Trump endorsed Cuomo, who is running as a third-party candidate instead of Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. Numerous other cities, including Atlanta, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Detroit, are also holding mayoral elections today. In Cincinnati, incumbent Mayor Aftab Pureval is seeking a second term, facing challenger Corey Bowman, the half-brother of Vice President J.D. Vance. Political observers say this contest could signal how Midwestern cities balance growth with public safety and concerns about cost of living. UK students from the area are keeping an eye on what is happening back home.
I think it's hard to stay engaged and aware of what's going on, but I definitely still care about it. And I think Ohio makes it really easy to vote even if you're not local.
In Atlanta, incumbent Mayor Andre Dickens faces 4 challengers as the city weighs issues like affordable housing. In Detroit, candidates are campaigning on revitalization and job growth, while Minneapolis voters will decide whether to keep Mayor Jacob Frey or shift towards a more progressive agenda under State Senator Omar Fateh. Other major cities, including Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Jersey City, are also electing mayors this fall.
For many University of Kentucky students, Election Day means mailing an absentee ballot instead of heading to the polls. For instance, students from Virginia can help elect a new governor this year. Democratic Representative Abigail Spanberger faces Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, guaranteeing the first female governor of the state of Virginia. Virginia ballot also includes races for Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General, positions that help set state policy on education, crime, and health care. The race for governor is also on in New Jersey, while Pennsylvania voters will decide 3 Supreme Court seats, a judicial race that could affect future decisions on voting rights and redistricting. For students voting by mail, it's a reminder that even from Lexington, their voices still can help shape the states that they call home.
Just from being away, I see a lot about Kentucky's government and things that happen in Kentucky, but I still like to stay involved with everything back in Pittsburgh and back at home, because even though I'm here, my home is still there and I still care about it.
Another issue millions of voters are focused on is redistricting. Voters in California are poised to approve Proposition 50, a bill that would redraw the state's congressional districts to heavily favor Democrats and cut the amount of Republican representatives roughly in half. This bill comes as a response to Texas taking similar action favoring Republican representatives. 6 in 10 Californians approve of this measure, but the support breaks sharply upon party lines. Here at the University of Kentucky, students shared their thoughts on what this means going forward.
It's a big problem, I feel, the fact that we have to kind of section out different areas to kind of make it more favorable to one side or the other. I feel that that kind of reduces kind of the point of democracy.
I think you're going to see a rise of gerrymandering in the United States, whether that be for good or for bad. I think you'll definitely start seeing people try to do it in Kentucky. I can't guarantee that that's going to happen here, but I think there's definitely going to be attempts made.
Numerous other states, such as Indiana, are considering redistricting, while some states like Ohio are already approving new congressional maps. After the newly drawn lines are implemented, Republicans are expected to hold an advantage of 12 in 15 of Ohio's congressional districts, up from 10 the previous years.
A Supreme Court case out of Louisiana has potential to reshape the Voting Act. The Voting Act bans conditions that could weaken minority voter power. If the court weakens Sections 2, it could make it harder to prevent discriminatory election laws. Several states, including California, Illinois, and New York, are passing their own state voting rights acts to protect voters in their communities. The court heard arguments in the case this past October, with the ruling expected by summer of 2026.